What's good, you guys? We're back with another Vibes Rewind episode 2 of this great series, you know what I'm saying? In this series, we're going to be comparing stuff, whether it's drafts like it was from last episode, maybe players in the future, historic teams, all those type of things. But today, we're matching up the 13th pick from the last 5 years versus the 14th pick from the last 5 years, seeing how the talent looks for both of these teams. I think it's pretty even, and just comparing them and comment below which pick y'all think have been better from the last 5 years. Like this type of content, go and like us up on the video if you haven't already. And let's get right into it. By the way, we won't be counting the rookies in this video, you know what I'm saying? Not the 2020 class, so 2019 to 2015 is what we're going to be doing in this video. Just wanted to tell y'all that. With the 13th pick in the 2015 NBA draft, the Phoenix Suns picked Devin Booker. And Devin Booker is the cornerstone of what this team is now. If Devin Booker wasn't as good as he was, Chris Paul wouldn't have came. DeAndre Ayton would have been as good as he is so far. And this team wouldn't be as great as they are. I know the media wants to give Chris Paul all the love, but Devin Booker is that dude for this team. 30 points on most nights and a 40-pointer in this game. 70 points at the end of the second season. He's a certified bucket. He came into the league tagged as a sharpshooter and has turned his game into a complete offensive player, and we love to see stuff like that. And he's still got the strap to go with it. You feel what I'm saying? I think that he draws comparisons to people like Kobe, and I don't agree with that. I don't think he's that good, but he's still an insane offensive player, and his mid-range is on lock for sure, and he's definitely the best player on this 13th pick squad. And this dude is a complete switch from Devin Booker and is a complete bust in the league. Georgios Papagiannis. He played 1 year and already got a nickname, averaged 4 points in his career. But who gave bro a nickname in 1 year? He's a bust. Stop. And this dude right here has been in back-to-back draft videos, another steal, and literally the face of the Utah Jazz. Brian Windhorst, the small market killer, saying he may leave though, and that's Donovan Mitchell. You know what I'm saying? Donovan Mitchell coming into the league was named as kind of like a defense specialist, a guy that won't be able to score at a high level in the league, and boy has he killed that. He has killed whoever said that, and has became an all-around offensive player just like Devin Booker. And those two have been compared a lot throughout their career. Who's better? And it's really close in my opinion. Donovan Mitchell is more aggressive getting to the basket. He showed that he can really shoot the three ball, although Devin Booker is more natural at it. But both of them are insane players, and Donovan Mitchell has carried his team, it seems, every single year. And this year was supposed to be the year where he got some help, you know what I'm saying? And in the end, it just felt like, once again, Donovan Mitchell was just doing everything. And that sucks, and maybe he would be right from leaving the Jazz, but I wouldn't want him to go to another big market, because it just seems like we're stirring to just everybody going to big markets, and that sucked. And Donovan Mitchell is Utah right now. He really is. He's one of the only things Utah got, maybe the only thing Utah got after another disappointing season, being the first seed. Star, bust, star. Very big disappointment, but it's still been 3 years, so I'm not going to call him a bust yet. The other side of back-to-back picks was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and that is Jerome Robinson. And Jerome Robinson was looked at as a big guard that can get to the rim coming out of college from Boston College, you know what I'm saying? And just hasn't developed or improved at all during his time in the NBA. Came in with Los Angeles Clippers, was hurt, kind of didn't get too much burn, got traded or released, I'm not really sure, to the Washington Wizards, and has gotten a little bit of burn, especially when a lot of players were out. But in the playoffs, he didn't play whatsoever, so it's not looking too great for Jerome Robinson. But he's a player that may carve out a little bit of a role player role sometime in his career at some point, because he still has those qualities of getting to the rim and things like that. Not a good three-point shooter whatsoever, and wasn't a good three-point shooter coming out of college, so I'm not expecting that to be great. But I never want to call a player a bust 2 or 3 years out, but it's not looking good for Jerome Robinson. All right, we don't have a star or a bust yet, just a decent player so far in his career, and this is the last player for the 13th pick squad, one of the most controversial, one of the most popular players in the NBA. Some may say his fame is more than his talent. Some would say that, and that is Tyler Herro, man. Tyler Herro. Tyler Herro, man. He has had a lot of highs, and this year he has had a lot of lows. He's a 3-point specialist, and some would say he has an offensive. I would say he has some offensive game around that, but he is for sure overrated in that sense. I think he's closer to a 3-point specialist than a overall offensive player, because although he has an okay mid-range, he doesn't get to the basket well, and his mid-range isn't very consistent. Also, I rather him just being off ball, catching and shooting than initiating offense, and that's perfectly fine. But I think after the bubble, people were like, ooh, Devin Booker. You know what I'm saying? Like, those type of comparisons were going on, and that's just not who I think Tyler Herro is going to be. And also, the Heat love him. The Heat love him. They rather have had Tyler Herro than putting him in a trade package with James Harden. And, well, they got swept. They got swept, bubble guppies, you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty tough, and hopefully they can bounce back from that. But that's going to be hard to bounce back from. They could have had James Harden, Bam, and Jimmy, and could have traded Tyler Herro to Houston, and Tyler Herro may have been able to develop more in a rebuilding setting, stuff like that. But they ended up not wanting to do it, and that is not looking great right now. But hopefully Tyler Herro can have a better third season. Maybe it's just a sophomore slump, and get back on track from where he was after the bubble. Alright, man, the 13th pick squad from the last 5 years is Georgios Papagiannis at center. Then we got Jerome Robertson, Tyler Herro at the guard positions. And then the two lead guards are Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell. Let's see if the 14th pick squad is better. Alright, now we got the 14th picks from the last 5 years, and let's start getting into the 2015 14th pick, and that is Cameron Payne. And Cameron Payne has had an insane resurgence of his NBA career. Coming into the league, you know what I'm saying, Oklahoma City Thunder, then with the Chicago Bulls, then the hit them folks handshake with Russell Westbrook. He was just a bench mob guy for real. Then after that, played in the G League for a little bit, Then went to China, which we've all heard. If you watch the NBA playoffs, you know. If you don't know anything, you know that man Cameron Payne went to China, because it felt like, especially in that last round, they said it every single game. Cameron Payne went to China. He was in a hotel thinking about his basketball career. And then Monty Williams gave him a call, and he played in the bubble. I swear I've heard that like 1,000 times. Anyways, Cameron Payne has had an insane resurgence, and now the Phoenix Suns is like really good backup point guard. And at times, the pace and other things like that is better when Cameron Payne is in the game. If you've been watching these playoffs at times, Cameron Payne had that big 29-9 game, and it has really just become a respectable player in the league. In 2016, the 14th pick was Denzel Valentine, and Denzel Valentine has just had an injury-riddled, funny career. And he the dude that got 44 dropped on his head by the Drew League MVP Frank Sessions. That was one of the funniest videos I've ever seen. They was talking about bros shouldn't be in the NBA and all that type of stuff. That's very tough. He was a coveted player coming out of college with Michigan State. Known as a bucket coming out of college, and just hasn't done that in the league. Kind of filtered to just a catch-and-shoot guy off the bench, kind of a role player for real. And also, like I said, he just can't stay healthy. So it has not been a very successful career for Denzel Valentine. Alright, in the 2017 NBA draft with the 14th pick, this is the best player on the team, and that is Bam Adebayo. You know what I'm saying? Bam Adebayo has been a complete steal in this draft, and since then, all the other NBA teams have been trying to look for their Bam Adebayo steal, and it's kind of one of a kind at the 14th pick, you know what I'm saying? But Bam Adebayo should have been a top 3 defensive player of the year candidate, in my opinion. He's a great defensive player, has made his offensive game so much better in the NBA than it was in college, and I love to see that from players when they just turn their offensive game around and become like an actual decent or really good offensive player in other people's circumstances. So shout out to Bam Adebayo. That mid-range shot is getting better. The floater, you know what I'm saying, the spin move, all that's in Bam Adebayo's bag. He had a sour ending to the season, but Bam Adebayo is still an insanely good player, and I think is he what-time All-Star? No, he didn't make the All-Star game. He did not make the All-Star game, but he is that guy for the Miami Heat, and hopefully, like I said, they can turn it around next season. In 2018, with the 14th pick, this is just a great example about when you just don't overthink skill. Don't overthink it sometimes. And that's what Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. had a back injury, had all that, but he was working out, and a lot of people skipped on him because of that. And they're probably regretting it. Probably not as many teams are regretting it because that 2018 NBA draft was just so great. But still, there's a couple teams that are regretting not taking Michael Porter Jr. because he is becoming that guy. Still has all-star potential. Had a bit of a better playoffs with a little bit of a bigger role with no Jamal Murray. Still needs to get better at other things. Needs to get to the basket a little bit more and stop taking as many step back contested threes and as many insanely tough shots to get him a couple more easy buckets. You know what I'm saying? So still a great player. Difficult shot making on 10. And he will be that dude next to Nikola Jokic at some point, or a very, very good trade asset for somebody else because he is probably one of the most coveted trade assets in the league and the second best player on this 14th pick squad. In the 2019 NBA draft, the last player on this 14th pick squad is somebody I was really high on coming into college, then coming into the NBA because, yes, he was so good in high school, drawing comparisons to James Harden. Don't forget that. And also has some decent defensive potential that he's still kind of showing in the NBA right now, and that is Romeo Langford. Romeo Langford has still been kind of disappointing in the NBA, and that's also because in Boston, the coaches don't really give any of those young players a lot of burn. Not Grant Williams is probably the one that gets the most burn, and Grant Williams is not good whatsoever. I think Romeo should get a little bit more burn, but also he needs to show himself a little bit more to get that burn, you know. But I'm still a big Romeo Langford fan. Want to see him succeed in the league. Want to see him get a little bit more shot creation, you know what I'm saying? Because besides Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, there's not much shot creation on that team. Romeo Langford can step into that role a little bit and show that he could be that guy. Hopefully he can do that next year and have a big season. I'm rooting for Romeo. All right, man. For the 14th pick squad, we got Cameron Payne at the 1, Denzel Valentine and Romeo Langford at the wing spots, then MPJ at the power forward, and Bam at the center position. So we got the 13th pick team versus the 14th pick team. Comment below which team you think is better, man. And that's all I got for you guys today, man. If you like this type of content, go and like us up on the video if you haven't already. This is my new series, Vibes Rewind. I can compare players. I can compare drafts like I just did. I can compare seasons, whatever y'all want me to do, man. If y'all got something to comment, something to that y'all want me to do, go ahead and comment it like I said. But that's all I got for you guys today, man. Like us up on the channel. See you guys next time.